Now, have you ever missed seeing something so obvious, even if it's right in front of your eyes? Imagine walking past free money without noticing. Sounds unlikely, doesn't it? But it's surprisingly so common. Hello everyone, my name is Harleen, and today I'll introduce you to an intriguing research article titled Failure to See Money on a Tree by Heyman, Serb and Wise Swanson 2014. Now, their work dives deep into the fascinating phenomena of consciousness and inattentional blindness, challenging our understanding of attention and perception. So interesting! Let's first clarify what inattentional blindness is. This phenomena occurs when we fail to perceive clearly visible objects simply because our attention is diverted elsewhere. Think about a time you walked past someone waving at you without noticing. Your eyes saw them, but your brain didn't register their presence because it was busy elsewhere. This is inattentional blindness in action. Understanding this concept is critical because it reveals the fascinating limitations of our consciousness and perception. Heyman and colleagues aimed explicitly to investigate if people can subconsciously avoid obstacles without consciously recognizing them. Especially, they hypothesized that individuals who are distracted, particularly those using cell phones, would demonstrate significantly higher inattentional blindness compared to the undistracted pedestrians. This hypothesis suggested an important relationship. That relationship was between attention, consciousness, and our behavior. The first experiment, creatively called the invisible sign, involved 141 pedestrians walking on a campus path where researchers had strategically placed a prominent signboard. Participants were grouped based on whether they were using cell phones, listening to music, or completely undistracted. Researchers carefully observed and documented exactly when the pedestrians moved to avoid the sign and subconsciously asked each participant if they had noticed the signboard. The aim was to clearly measure both behavior avoidance and consciousness awareness. Now, the findings were quite remarkable. Our cell phone users not only reacted slower, typically avoiding the obstacle later, but also showed significantly reduced awareness. Only 63% of cell phone users consciously recalled seeing the sign, compared to the 83.3% of undistracted pedestrians. This gap in awareness clearly supported the initial hypothesis, demonstrating how profoundly distractions affect our conscious perception even when our behavior adjusts appropriately. Now, building on the first experiment, the researchers conducted an even more captivating second study called the Money Tree. Here, 396 pedestrians were observed passing under a tree from which real dollar bills were hanging at eye level. The pedestrians had to physically avoid the branch to pass, presenting a unique scenario where a highly attractive and noticeable stimulus, money, was directly in their path. Researchers closely monitored if pedestrians consciously noticed and interacted with the money. And the results were even more astonishing. A staggering 94% of pedestrians distracted by their cell phones failed to consciously notice the money. Although they subconsciously moved around the tree, only a tiny fraction stopped or acknowledged seeing the bills. This provided robust evidence of inattentional blindness, showing that distraction could severely limit consciousness awareness even for something so obvious and appealing as free money. So why does this happen? It all ties back to our brain's two visual pathways, the dorsal pathway, responsible for guiding unconscious automatic behavior, and the ventral pathway, which handles conscious recognition and awareness. When we are distracted, our ventral pathway, crucial for conscious perception, is disrupted. This explains how individuals can avoid obstacles using the dorsal pathway without consciously recognizing them, emphasizing the critical role of focused attention in conscious awareness. Now, while these studies offer compelling insights, they do have limitations. Being observational, they can't control all external variables completely. Nonetheless, their implications are significant, highlighting real-world dangers of distracted behaviors, such as walking or driving. Future research should address this limitation by incorporating controlled experimental designs using advanced tools like eye tracking to precisely measure visual attention and exploring inattentional blindness in more varied and realistic scenarios. Ultimately, these experiments reinforce a crucial point. Our conscious awareness is fundamentally tied to attention. When distracted, our ability to perceive what's happening around us is dangerously reduced. The practical takeaway is clear. Avoiding distraction enhances our safety significantly. Your conscious attention might just save your life. Thank you so much for your attention today, guys. I hope I had your attention and not your phones. I know they can be quite attractive. Here's a reference for anyone who wishes to explore this intriguing topic further, and please ask questions if there are any. Thank you so much.